Good evening. A major aviation disaster has struck the United States, as a UPS cargo plane crashed moments after takeoff from Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport in Kentucky, sending shockwaves through the community and across the global logistics industry. The massive explosion lit up the evening sky on November 4, 2025, when the wide-body freighter, identified as UPS Flight 2976, burst into flames and crashed into an industrial area just beyond the airport's southern runway. The aircraft, a McDonnell Douglas MD-11 freighter, had departed for Honolulu, Hawaii, when witnesses reported seeing fire erupting from its left wing only seconds after takeoff. The blaze grew rapidly, and before controllers could even issue an emergency clearance, the plane lost altitude and slammed into the ground, producing a huge fireball visible for miles. Emergency teams raced toward the crash site, where flames engulfed multiple buildings. The blast was so intense that debris was scattered across several acres. Firefighters battled through the night as thick black smoke billowed over Louisville's skyline. Authorities confirmed that at least 7 people were killed, including all 3 crew members on board, and at least 11 others on the ground were injured. 4 of the dead were employees of nearby industrial facilities that were struck by wreckage. The governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear, called it one of the darkest evenings the state has seen in years, and urged calm as rescue crews continued searching for victims and potential survivors in the smoldering debris. Local residents described the terrifying moment of impact. Some said the explosion shook their homes and sounded like an earthquake. Others reported seeing a trail of fire streaking low across the sky before the aircraft disappeared behind warehouses and erupted in flames. One eyewitness told reporters, "It was like the sun exploded right in front of us." The Louisville Metro Police Department immediately cordoned off the area and issued a shelter-in-place order for all residents within a 5-mile radius, warning of toxic fumes from burning jet fuel and nearby chemicals. The ill-fated aircraft had been carrying thousands of pounds of cargo and was fully fueled for an 8-hour flight across the Pacific. Aviation analysts say that amount of fuel, roughly 38,000 gallons, turned the crash site into an inferno. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, has now launched a full investigation, dispatching a "go" team of experts to Kentucky. The agency confirmed that both the flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder have been recovered from the wreckage, and they are expected to provide crucial clues about what went wrong in those final moments. The aircraft itself was more than 34 years old, a veteran of countless flights. Experts note that while cargo carriers often use older planes that are structurally sound, age and maintenance always play a role in aviation safety. Early evidence suggests that the initial fire began near the number 1 engine on the left wing, possibly due to an engine failure or fuel line rupture. Some aviation analysts have speculated that a catastrophic structural break or engine detachment could have led to an uncontrollable loss of lift. But officials caution that it is far too early to draw conclusions. The NTSB says it may take months before a preliminary cause is confirmed and up to 2 years before a final report is released. For now, the focus remains on recovery and containment. More than 100 firefighters and emergency personnel responded to the disaster, including hazardous materials teams, as nearby businesses stored petroleum, solvents, and industrial chemicals. 2 major facilities, a fuel recycling plant and an auto parts warehouse, were completely destroyed. The FAA temporarily shut down the airport, diverting dozens of incoming and outgoing flights and suspending all operations at UPS's global cargo hub, known as Worldport. The shutdown created ripple effects across the entire U.S. shipping network, delaying thousands of overnight packages and disrupting supply chains that depend on time-sensitive deliveries. Worldport is one of the busiest logistics facilities on the planet, processing nearly 2 million packages every day and handling more than 300 flights nightly. The Louisville hub alone employs over 20,000 people and contributes billions to Kentucky's economy. Governor Beshear urged the public not to speculate until facts are known but promised transparency in the investigation. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg added that this tragedy highlights the need for stronger safety reviews in industrial and flight path zoning. For many families in the area, the UPS hub is not just an employer but part of daily life. And tonight, that sense of stability has been shaken. Beyond the immediate devastation, the crash exposes deeper issues within the aviation and logistics sectors. Cargo airlines worldwide rely heavily on older aircraft models like the MD-11 because they are durable, spacious, and cost-effective. Yet, these same aircraft are more demanding to fly, especially under high load and crosswind conditions. Past incidents have shown the MD-11's sensitivity during takeoff and landing, where control surface performance can become unpredictable. Aviation unions and safety advocates are expected to push for renewed attention to maintenance standards and aging fleet modernization following this catastrophe. Meanwhile, economists are already assessing the impact on supply chains. Even a short-term shutdown at Louisville's Worldport can delay shipments nationwide. Analysts estimate that each hour of halted operations can cost millions in lost productivity, late deliveries, and rerouted freight. Retail giants like Amazon, Walmart, and healthcare distributors that rely on UPS air freight have begun adjusting schedules. The disruption also underscores how interconnected the global logistics system has become, where a single crash in Kentucky can echo across continents. On a broader scale, aviation safety regulators across the world are watching closely. The FAA has pledged to assist the NTSB, while global carriers are reviewing their own MD-11 maintenance procedures as a precaution. The International Air Transport Association has also expressed condolences and reiterated the importance of continuous safety vigilance, particularly in the booming cargo sector that expanded rapidly during and after the pandemic. In Louisville, the community has responded with unity. Vigils are being planned near the airport, and residents have been leaving flowers, UPS logos, and handwritten notes for the victims. For many, it's a reminder of how deeply tied this city is to the logistics industry. Every night, hundreds of aircraft roar overhead, connecting Louisville to nearly every major city in the world. That very system, usually so seamless and invisible, was brought crashing down in a matter of seconds. As the investigation continues, questions will focus on whether the fire originated from mechanical failure, maintenance oversight, or even a manufacturing flaw dating back decades. But behind every data point are human stories, families grieving loved ones, first responders recounting scenes of chaos, and workers wondering if their workplace will ever feel safe again. Tonight, as smoke still lingers over the industrial heart of Louisville, America confronts another reminder of how fragile modern aviation can be. A reminder that every flight, every package, every moment of logistics efficiency, rests on layers of engineering, vigilance, and luck. The crash of UPS Flight 2976 is more than an isolated tragedy. It is a moment that challenges the entire cargo aviation industry to look deeper, at safety culture, infrastructure, and the human cost of global commerce. For now, authorities urge patience and compassion. The NTSB will release more details in the coming days as recovery operations continue. UPS has pledged full transparency and support for those affected. And while Kentucky mourns, the entire world watches, waiting for answers, lessons, and hope that such a disaster never happens again. This is a developing story. Stay with us for continuing coverage as new information emerges from the investigation into the Louisville UPS plane crash.